Well, I know, but we need the words up too. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Unity in the Seven Hills. Thank you for joining us in person. It's great to see these smiling faces. And out there online, thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to get started with some songs. I hope you guys are ready. Let's stand and sing. Here we go. Come on, get ready. I'm so glad that you're here today. Come on, get ready. Let's give thanks in a special way. Come on, get ready. Let's take the time to celebrate. Come on, get ready. Finding our way to elevate. Feel the power. Know the truth. Look on the inside. And get it to you, step into you. Come on, get ready. I'm so glad that you're here today. Woo! Come on, get ready. Let's give thanks in a special way. Come on, get ready. Let's take the time to celebrate. Come on, get ready. Finding our way to elevate. Feel the power. Know the truth. Look on the inside. And step into you. Come on, come on, come on, come on, and get ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on, and get ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on, and get ready. Woo. One more time. Come on, come on, come on, come on, and get ready. Come on and get ready. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the love you want to flow. Be the peace you want to feel around you. Forgive others and let go. Look within to find the endless resource. Bring forth joy and send it out. Look to spirit for your inspiration. Live the life you talk about. Be the change you want to see in this place. Shine the light you want to grow. Be the truth you want to know around you. You're divine, so let it show. Look inside to find the God you're seeking. Know the path that is for you. Look to wisdom and imagination, 'cause the change you want is you. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the love you want to flow. Be the peace you want to feel around you. Forgive others and let go. Be the change. Be the change. Be And we have one more this morning. We have a new one. It's the message of the day is "We Can Do It." So I wrote a song for it because I can do it. We can rise up together. We can reach so much higher. Working with each other, we are the universal choir. Lifting one another, raising each voice, lifting our hearts, making a choice. We can do it. We can lift each other up as we weave these lives together. We can reach it. We will fill each other's cup as we make each moment better. Here we go. Here we go. We can do it. Here we go. Here we go. We can do it. So second time through. We can rise up together. We can reach so much higher. Working with each other, we are the universal choir. Lifting one another, raising each voice, lifting our hearts, making the choice. We can do it, or we can lift each other up as we weave these lives together. We can reach it, or we can fill each other's cup as we make each moment better. Here we go, here we go, we can do it. Here we go, here we go, we can do it. Let's do that a couple more times. Here we go, we can do it. One more time. Here we go, we can do it.
Good morning, Unity in the Seven Hills. Well, thank you, Daniel. We can do it, because the message is going to be centering around that we can do it. Almost feel like church dismissed. Let's go downstairs and have the coffee and donuts. But I mean, but first, let's start off by blessing the Unity candle with that great principle. There's one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. God, the good, omnipotent. I was recently reading something by an author, Jolinda Strindberg, and she has a love of telescopes and astronomy and all that. So she took out the family telescope, and recently Jupiter, it wasn't not that long ago, Jupiter and Saturn were aligned and were the closest to the Earth that they ever come. And she took out the telescope and she was looking at it, and just the amazement of seeing these two giant planets and then seeing stars behind it. I don't know about you, I love looking at pictures from the Hubble telescope and also from the Webb telescope. I mean, the pictures you see from them are as beautiful, and I think many times more beautiful than what you would see in an art museum. I mean, just the beauty of this universe. And then Jolinda had this sense of not only, external or transcendent, but she had this deep sense of the immanent, that same power was inside of her, that she was dealing with a higher power, a force of love that really cared for her. The beauty outside, the beauty inside. And she said it was an incredible moment to feel that transcendent and immanent together. When we can feel that, both the beauty that is out this incredible, abundant, and wonderful universe. Einstein said, a key question is, are we living in a hostile world, hostile universe, or are we living in a basically supportive and nurturing universe? Einstein said he goes with the latter. And I think, Unity does too. When we can feel that and know that this same power is on our side and ready to help us going through the situations that we're going through in Central Virginia, when that is the case, then there is a new stride in our step. And whatever challenge we are facing, it's almost like, here is the solution, now what was the problem? And that is incredible. When we can have that and face that, then it is a new day It is a new day, and much more than just the planets are aligning. Something really powerful is aligning for us too. Each week we go through one of Unity's basic principles, and we're on the third principle, which is, I mean, for me, when I was a newbie at Unity, this principle really meant so much to me because I come from my family, for a whole range of reasons, a wall-to-wall, negative thinkers. I mean, if something good happened in our family, the reaction was, "This too shall pass," And to come in here and to realize that, it was almost like, remember Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh? Thank you, the old gray donkey. Thank you for noticing me. And then, when you, the law of attraction, there really is something to be said about this. That, if you're viewing the world this way, guess what you are probably attracting? And that law of mind action, a thought in mind, really honestly does produce after its kind. New thought, a lot of times it's a bumper sticker, but I think a very powerful bumper sticker. Change your thinking, and you do change your life. Change your thinking, and you do change your life. And, it's almost, like, I almost sound like an infomercial. I mean, I don't want to go, but I've seen it so much both in my life and other people. Afterwards, ask me about it. I mean, tons of examples of that when we can change our thinking. When we can change our thinking from, negative, this too shall pass, it's all, it's all downhill and everything, to starting to see those open possibilities. Then things start to happen in our lives. I love the way the third principle in Unity is stated here. Why don't we say it together? Thoughts have creative power to determine events and attract experiences. They honestly do. They honestly do. If you're new to Unity, welcome. If you're new to Unity in the Seven Hills, welcome also. We have information packets in the back. I'm not going to ask you to stand up or anything. I'm trying to embarrass you or anything else like that. But there are packets back there which explain about Unity and Unity in the Seven Hills. Please take one. After the service, we will have fellowship downstairs, and really would love to meet you, know you, and know you better. So take the packet. We'll look forward to seeing you downstairs. We're also really glad the World Parliament of Religions was this week. Bonnie was at it, and so we're so glad to see Bonnie back. If you've not seen her Facebook posts and other Facebook posts from the World Parliament of Religions, the first one that was held, in the 1800s, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore went there, and were really pumped up. And this was in a period where it was really hard to get. I mean, it wasn't like going to Barnes & Noble and there's tons of Buddhist and Thich Nhat Hanh literature and all translated into English. I mean, it was much different then, but they were really blown away by this, and we're looking forward to hearing from Bonnie about that. We're also really blessed to have a wonderful youth and family ministries. Oh my God, thank you, Crystal. Why don't we bless our youth and send them downstairs? They will join us at the end, and I know they're going to be doing wonderful things. So, and now let's bless our youth together. You are a perfect child of God, and God and I love you just the way you are.
So let's stand and sing as they go off downstairs. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's sing it one more time. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Let's affirm our mission statement together. Unity in the Seven Hills is a vibrant, inclusive community that inspires individual spiritual growth through education, prayer, heart connection, and sacred service. And let's also affirm our vision statement. We are an inclusive community centered in spirit. We embrace our divine oneness, power, and purpose. And I've asked Regina to come on up and read us our daily word. Good morning. Yes, because guess what? The people way out there on YouTube.
Okay, with understanding, my spirit is always cool. One of the best ways to remain calm in any agitating circumstance is to practice understanding. Seeking to understand gives me information and insight and eases my reactivity. It keeps my emotional thermostat dialed down if I am tempted to lose my cool. Perhaps poet Rudyard Kipling was referring to understanding in his person, quote unquote, when he wrote of the importance of, quote unquote, keeping your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, unquote. Properly mastered, my power of understanding gives me the strength and presence of mind to be a beacon in times of trouble or crisis. Whatever this day may bring, I will carry the light of understanding with me. I am cool in spirit, I am understanding. Proverbs 17:27, one who is cool in spirit has understanding.
Thank you. Thank you. There's another line from Proverbs, which is probably one of my favorite lines in the Bible, which is, even a fool, if he keeps his mouth shut, can appear to be wise. Amen and amen. After when we end the service, before we go downstairs to fellowship, today we're also going to be lighting candles of blessing. So please join us for that. And now we have some very special praise and music.
Good morning, everybody. This is a love song for you all. In my eyes, you are beautiful. In my life, you are wonderful. You bring all the joy to me, the way you are. In my heart, I know I'm known. Finally, I have found a home. You bring all the world to me, the way you are. In my arms, I have strength in your arms. I am lifted, I am free. In my eyes, you are beautiful. In my life, you are wonderful. You bring all the joy to me, the way you are. Finally, I have found a home. You mean all the world to me. The way you are, the way you are, the way you are.
Thank you so much. Wow, the way you are. Well, during the pandemic, I mean, I haven't done a survey on this, but almost all Unity churches, shut down. I mean, the pandemic came, doors were closed, and it was a big jolt. Many Unity communities did three things, essentially three things. First, they got really good at going online. I mean, to give you a sense here at Unity in the Seven Hills, when I was ordained in 2016, you guys very graciously invited me back, and so I was here on a Sunday. And so this is 2016. This is not ancient history, but there was no audio recording. There was obviously no video recording or anything. And that wasn't all that long ago. When COVID hit, changes which probably would have taken maybe 5 or 7 years to do, people were doing in 5 to 7 weeks. I mean, it was warp speed to the point of again, I'm not trying to people here go home and watch online or what, but you can stream or anything else like that. What's being produced and sent out live stream by this congregation, we may be small, but my God, we're mighty. Well, look at and congratulations to every one of you who has had a part in making the AV system what it is today. What we're putting out is really good. The quality, sometimes we have a little, with the microphone or whatever, but our quality is really good, and we can really be proud of what's going out there. And again, archived, you can go back to it. Somebody's going through some challenge or something, you can email them and clip it on and send it to them. So we really have made that, like a lot of other Unities, really have gone to a point where it was interesting at a Unity conference not that long ago. Martha Creech, Reverend Martha Creech, who I deeply admire, led a session talking about church in the future. Her prediction, and I agree with her, there's no going back to what it was before the pandemic. That church, whether you like it or not, church is going to, the successful churches, those who are really reaching people, are going to be hybrid churches. I can't tell you how many times I've had it happen both here, but I also had it, it was weekly at Unity of Roanoke Valley. People would come up to me and say, I've been listening to you or watching your services for the last 6 months or so, and now this is the first time I'm here live. A lot of people who we are going to reach, the first way we're going to reach them is online, and that's reality 101. So the first thing a lot of Unity churches did was get really good at that online stuff. And we're doing not only services, our classes, almost all our classes now are hybrid. You can either come here live, or you can, you're in Missoula, Montana, on vacation, you can watch them then. So we've gotten very good at that. The second thing which a lot of Unity churches did was they ran out and they got PPP loans from the federal government, quite frankly, Paycheck Protection Plan loans. And we did it here too. We're very, very grateful. And the neat thing was, if you lived up to certain principles, the loan was forgiven. And we've done that, and the loan was forgiven. The third thing which a lot of Unity churches did during the pandemic is they became really interested in this book by Jim Lockhart and Jim Lockhart is a minister at Centers for Spiritual Living. He just recently spoke at the Unity Worldwide Ministries Convention. And it was really neat. I was planning on doing this series way before, I knew he was coming. But it was really glad to meet him. His book is called Creating the Beloved Community. Creating the Beloved Community. The term and a lot of the ideas about creating the beloved community come from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King back in the 1960s. King, I got to hand it to him. I mean, it's the 60s, 40, 50 years ago, and he was really interested in this. This is the time period where Time magazine is starting to put out covers, Is God Dead? And oh my God, church attendance is going this way, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. King was really concerned about this. King was, honestly really concerned about this. And it really gets to you. Good friends from Unity in Roanoke Valley. She's a former judge, Diane Strickland, and her husband Art, wonderful people, just came back from Europe and talked with them and all that. And they posted a lot of stuff on Facebook about the cathedrals and beautiful, beautiful cathedrals. They said to me, Rick, it's really sad though, but they're museums. I mean, this is not, they're not living institutions. It would be really sad if we saw our spiritual communities go that way. So Dr. King was really interested in how do you reverse this trend? How do you get to a congregation where, you're sitting there, should I go to church on Sunday? Until you wait, in a live and happening place where, is it Sunday yet? I really want to go to church. It's alive and it's a happening place. And Jim has picked up on some of the things which Dr. King was pointing to. And why this is so important. I mean, yes, you can look at trends overall, again, gets back to that third principle. As long as you think this is the trend and it's going to fall and that's it, guess what's probably going to happen? It's going to fall. But you know what? I remember when we lived in Northern Virginia, a lot of churches were starting to move in the direction of those cathedrals in Europe. Essentially museums, which were happening places. My God, the parking lot was filled. I mean, and it was standing room only. And it was also, and it wasn't just, in Judaism, groups called Havirots, where people, it was alive and happening. Sanghas in the Buddhist tradition, where it was alive and happening, which really, what Lockhart and Dr. King are talking about, places which are alive and happening, which are feeding the spirit, which are incredible attractors. And so the third thing, and I think in many ways probably the most important thing, a good number of people in the Unity movement were really getting interested in this stuff. Winston Churchill said that a crisis is too important to waste. Never waste a good crisis. We went through, it's a period where you can get change and you can get real dynamic things going. And so the hope was of many people in Unity was that we could not just reopen the churches, not just go back to where we were before, but build back better. Build back better. And we called the concept reunity, recharge it, doing new things, coming together and creating these types of beloved communities. And you want to know what? So many of the things that Dr. King was talking about and what Jim Lockhart is talking about is happening right here in Unity in the Seven Hills. Again, we may be small, but we're mighty. You drive down, and I'm sorry, I forget which street it is, but you see the big building, Beacons of Hope. Beacons of Hope, a wonderful organization which is helping, kids who might not have graduate from college and start wonderful careers and start becoming really incredible members of the community. That Beacon of Hope started in this building. It was an idea, Bob and others, which started in this place. So many things that King and Lockhart are talking about are happening here. Our numbers are up. Our numbers, both people and finances, our numbers are up. My God, just a few months ago, we had a new member ceremony. We welcomed 7 new members. For a church our size, that's not bad. That was maybe 2 months ago. Next week, we're going to have another one where we're welcoming 5 new members into this place. So, I mean, a lot of that stuff is happening online. I've already talked to you. I mean, we can really be proud of what we're putting out on online, and particularly when we had that series on unity in world religions. I mean, the numbers show that a lot of people were just going to YouTube and also going to Google, and were, coming directed to our site. Classes that we're holding. I mean, I could pick any number, but I'm going to pick one, actually now it's 2, Angels 101, Angels 102 by Pamela Smith. What incredible classes, and people were coming around, and coming attractions. Pamela is going to be starting a new group come September 20th. We'll have details about it, on mysticism and the mystical side of life, and also metaphysics. And so, I mean, just in terms of and I could pick other classes. The food pantry, oh my God. I mean, the food pantry with the refrigerator. I mean, wow. I mean, I tell people about, we have a 24 hours. It's a refrigerator outside, and volunteers built a beautiful kiosk over it. I told Judge Strickland, I said, the kiosk looks like something from the French Metro. I mean, it's really beautiful and all that. My God, and it resulted in a page 1 article in the News in Advance, in the Sunday News in Advance, page 1. It's nice to make the newspaper page 1, and it's good news. Prayer chaplains. Oh my God, the system of prayer chaplains, and I could go on and on and on. So I mean, a lot of good things are happening here. Incredible good. We sing that song, "Something Wonderful," at the end. Something wonderful. A lot of something wonderfuls are happening here. Jim Collins. He's a business professor at Stanford, written many books, but one in particular, which has had a big influence, is called Good to Great. How a lot of organizations get good, and then they sort of rest on their, they're like B or B plus students, and they sort of rest on their laurels or whatever. And the difference from going from, B or B plus to going, becoming an A student, as it were, going from good to great. I mean, going from good to great, those are the communities I was telling you about in Northern Virginia, where there was no, it was standing room only, and there was no room in the parking lot. You had to get there early. There's a lot to be said about going from good to great, and we can do it. Darn it, we can do it. All these things are happening. However, while we're doing this community, quite frankly, has gone through a lot. We've gone through COVID, and we've gone through several minister shifts, which have had, an impact. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the ministerial shifts were not easy. And there are also, quite frankly, some old wounds in this congregation. I believe unity in the 7 Hills can go from good to great. I believe that unity in the 7 Hills can become a beloved community. I believe that the only thing can stop us from doing that is ourselves. Now, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I went to seminary outside Kansas City and fell in love with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a big Mahomes fan, and Andy, so anyway. And they won the Super Bowl last year. But if you look at it, it was nip and tuck. It wasn't, for a while, it looked like they weren't even going to the Super Bowl. They lost some big ones. But if you look at the films of last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, The games they lost, it wasn't so much that the other team beat them. Kansas City defeated itself. Kansas City defeated, and even if you look at this, remember the Super Bowl? If you look at the first half, oh my God, the Chiefs they stank in the first half, and Mahomes was injured, remember? And I thought, well, first part of me, I thought, well, this is it. Mahomes is injured, he can barely run or whatever. Then this thought came to me. This is what greatness is all about. The great ones overcome these things and stand up and bammo, the Chiefs came out in the second half and that's exactly what they did. So I believe very strongly we have the ability to become this type of beloved community. But again, if we don't, it's because, almost like the Kansas City Chiefs in those games, we've defeated ourselves. So today, I would like to talk to you about what a beloved community is. And then I would like to start building up in you the faith that with God, all things are possible, and that with Spirit, Unity Center, Unity in the Seven Hills, can do it. And that in many ways, we've already started the journey, and we are well down that positive road. So what's a beloved community? I think Jim and Dr. King put it very, very well. Reverend Lockhart says, I see the beloved community as people on a spiritual pathway who seek a closer relationship with God, however named and defined, and as people who will take their spiritual awareness into the world to be examples of love and compassion in action. The beloved community is about being truly dedicated to walking your talk, to being in full alignment with spiritual principles. And on so many days, we are doing that. Now, Jim also says, you may also, sometimes in a spiritual community, you may also have experienced times when the community and its leaders do not live up to the ideals of love or compassion, or even when they express the opposites. But the beloved community has a core mission to reveal and to heal such issues, to honestly confront them, and to compassionately make corrections when as they unfold. The core mission might be stated as such: to be in congruence with our highest values, and to return to congruence quickly and surely when we fail to live up to them. Dr. King, I think, put it so well when he said that this requires, our goal is to create a beloved community, and this will require qualitative change in our soul as well as quantitative change in our lives. It will also require deep work, some grief, this is the start of a 4-part series. It requires some deep work of looking at ourselves and realizing, sometimes, the year is 2023, but sometimes our reactions are based more on what happened to us in 1973 and 1993 than it is on what's really happening today in 2023. To be aware of that, and to come into that. Also, sometimes, quite frankly, some spiritual communities, for a whole range of reasons, are not just producing faith, but they're also producing fear. And to have us to be a community which is producing faith, and in that flow, and that when, certain things happen, to be able to, to jump on that fairly quickly and make corrections where corrections are needed. Another interesting thing, traditionally churches, and Unity churches, one of them, tend to be minister-centered. The vision of the beloved community is not to be minister-centered, but to be community-centered. Some of the best things that have happened since I've shown up here, quite frankly, I've had to turn to, somebody said, well, that's really wonderful. Yeah, but it wasn't because of me. The refrigerator, that wasn't my idea. That wasn't my idea. The kiosk, that wasn't my idea. It was some stuff that came to this community and bubbled up. The beloved community is that it is not, yeah, the minister's there and all that, but it's community centered. It's community ideas coming up. The idea for that mystical and metaphysical group, that came from Pamela. It didn't come from me. So the neat thing about a beloved community is that it is a place. Jim, I think, puts it so well. The spiritual community is like an incubator, a place of safety and support for the kind of inner exploration needed to gain self-awareness and develop compassion. It is also very often a base operation for outreach to the larger community and the world, to be of service to those in need and influence people for a higher good. And so often this community, this little community, is doing exactly that. The beloved community, quite frankly, is a place which can nurture and support new ideas. It is a place which is incredibly creative, and it is also, my God, it is an attractor. Putting up that refrigerator, I can't tell you how many people from this community we've started to attract who have been curious, what is that? Is it open 24/7, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, it is an incubator. It is so incredible. It is an attractor. I believe that this place, and I believe me, I don't want to turn this place into a mega church. I mean, I want it to be a place where not only do you know the people, but you know who's here. We know each other well enough by their cars in the parking lot. We know who's here and everything else like that. Somebody's sick or something, you hasn't been here for a week or two, we're calling and finding out what's going on. You need a ride, you need this. I mean, that's the kind of, that is the kind of happening place. And we have the ability, and we're moving in that direction. But I think the Achilles heels, which, some of the things which I'll be talking about, if we can overcome these and heal, I think there's such incredible, great potential. Before ministry, I was chief economist for the United Way movement. And as that, I got to know the chairman of Gallup, Jim Clifton. Gallup is the polling organization. You hear them often. He still sends me tons of data, and it's really interesting. If you look at, and it sounds kind of gross talking about a spiritual marketplace, but if you look at the spiritual marketplace, the fastest growing segment is the spiritual but not religious. The spiritual but not religious. And if you look at, and I'm not going to lay a ton of statistics on you, but if you look at what their values are, what they're looking for, what they want, my God, places like this, they're looking for places like this. Unfortunately, in so many towns, one of the best kept secrets is the unity community. And so instead of looking out there and saying, Time magazine, is God dead? People don't want to go to church. If you look out with that changed attitude and realize that when I started to get interested in this around 2010, 2012, and was looking at the data, the spiritual but not religious were roughly 20% of the spiritual marketplace. They're now well over 30% and growing. I mean, I think a line which so much more captures our potential is when Jesus said, "The fields are ripe and ready for harvest." The fields are ripe and ready for harvest. We have that ability to go from good to great. And so what I would like to, next week, what we will be looking at are the obstacles. Because a lot of Unity churches have been interested in this stuff, but there are only a few examples which I could pick to and say, boy, they really are beloved communities. And I'll talk about that next week. But so, what are the common obstacles that are blocking this? The neat thing is that for every obstacle I'm going to mention, there's a solution. There is a there really honestly, truly is a workable solution. Then the week after that, we're going to be looking at essentially, some of it is hard work. Some of it, quite frankly, is hard work and takes dedication. Hard work in the sense of looking at ourselves spiritually and growing up out of our, again, I said a lot of times our reactions to what's happening in 2023 have more to do with what happened in 1963, what happened in 1973, getting over those types of old wounds. It's also, quite frankly, volunteering. And volunteering and standing up. We'll be talking about that. And then lastly, and this really, I was so delighted when Pamela sent me about what she wants to do in her workshop. She wants to do mystical as well as metaphysical, because the last is enhancing the mystical. Because in one sense, isn't that what we're looking for? Isn't that, the Apostle Paul put it so well, looking for the peace that passes all understanding. To build that kind of community which is really centered around experiences which do enhance that peace that passes all understanding. As I was doing this, a story by a wonderful writer, her name is Sabra C. Kennelly. Sabra C. Kennelly. She's written some really interesting books. One is called Thin Places. Thin Places are, and it really in Celtic mystical tradition and et cetera, and others too, but there are certain places where the wall between the sacred and the everyday are very, very, very thin. And she writes about this, but she also, her husband, they live in an old farmhouse which was built in 1867. And when she moved in, her sister said, look at this porch out here. It could be a beautiful screened porch. It could be a beautiful screened porch, and it's on a perfect east-west axis. A lot of early churches were put on perfect east-west, so you could see the sunrise and the sunset. You could come out here in the morning with your coffee and do your prayer and meditation and watch the sunrise, and wouldn't it be beautiful? Well, years passed, they didn't do it. Finally, they decided let's build that screened-in porch. The thing is, when you have a house which was built in 1867, there are no real right angles, and everything is, because the whole thing is settled and it's hard, nothing's leveled. And so it was hard work, but they finally built it. Sabra brought out some wicker chairs, which really, from a good friend, which really meant so much to her. Brought it out, sat down early in the morning with her coffee, watched the sunrise, then went into her prayer and meditation. And it was interesting. The words that came to her were beloved and brilliant. Beloved and brilliant. I would love it if we could remember that experience of Sabra, and in a way, we are building our porch to watch that beautiful sunrise. And as it does, let's remember those beautiful words, beloved and brilliant. Thank you, and God bless.
We're going to go into meditation with the song Out Beyond today. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. A field of love, a field of forgiveness, a peace that passes understanding. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. A field of love, a field of forgiveness, a peace that passes understanding. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. There's a field. I'll meet you there.
Let's take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Let's pretend we are on Sabra's porch, and it's right before sunrise. We're in comfy wicker chairs with pillows. The sun is rising. And we feel beloved and brilliant. And with that peace and with that hope, we gladly go into the silence. Dear Spirit, we're about to move from the summer growing season into the fall harvest season. And we know that our harvest will be abundant and blessed and align with your will. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. Let's stand and sing. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well.
Thank you. Please be seated. You know, a number of years ago when I first started showing up here, Reverend Nancy Purcell was the minister, and they didn't call it announcements, they called it resources, which I think there's a lot to be said for that, because what I'm going to be talking about right now quickly are about resources which this community has, which we're doing, and some wonderful resources. You know, for example, yoga is on Monday at 6:15 p.m. On Tuesdays, we hold, it's online, the Unity Rubber Meets the Road group, which really talking about people going through challenges, how do you apply these spiritual principles. On Wednesday, we've been doing metaphysical interpretation at 1 p.m. And then on Thursday, there's the meditation at 6 p.m. Then a wonderful class Ari has been doing on one-to-oneness, and we've just started looking at Ram Dass, Be Here, great exponent from the 1960s about Be Here Now. World Day of Prayer is coming up. It will be on September 13th and 14th. We will be doing things here and also leading you electronically to Unity Village, where they'll be doing certain other things. Please look at the Wednesday newsletter because and also probably next week we will have more details on that. I mentioned Pamela starting a wonderful class, spiritual circle on mysticism and also on metaphysics. That will start on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. It will be both online and also live here. We'll have sign-up sheets for you next week. So please, please honestly think about it, because I think it's going to be a wonderful course. Then on Saturday, October 7th, we are hosting Building Bridges Through Diversity. It's a workshop, which Bonnie and I'd be glad to talk to you more about. A really interesting workshop, I think, on diversity, and really helping us to get, to really honestly, truly walk the walk. There's sign-up sheets in the back, and we'd be more than happy to give more details. Our prayer chaplain is Daniel today, yay, and so we're looking forward to that. Now, Jim Rosemurgy, who wonderful Unity minister, said that even mystics have to pay bills. And we've been very, very blessed by the love and support which we've gotten even through the pandemic. I know many people, you give monthly or whatever, but I'm going to ask everybody, come on, as our ushers come forward, come on forward. Your good vibes and are really important. Please stop at the Unity Candle and then take an affirmation. I mean, I've been amazed at so often the affirmations are really important and come true. It's almost like it's almost like the I Ching and the I Ching, and it's important to do that. Then we'll circle around and we're going to be singing something wonderful.
Did we do the affirmation?
We just say let's just say that affirmation, because I really do think it's important. Unity in the Seven Hills is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And we accomplish mighty works together. We really do.
Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, oh yeah. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it just won't let go, no it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Let's keep it going. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, 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 yeah, now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Something wonderful. So let's go to the next slide. So let's bless these gifts together. We'll do that in a second. Hang on, together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. United in mind, body, and spirit, I dedicate these gifts as they grow to bless our community, our neighborhood, and our world. And so before we finish with the peace song, let's hear from the youth. The
Am I
kids.
on?
Yes.
You might have already heard us downstairs. It was a wild time. We were playing puppets, amazing imaginations from everybody across the board. Some really awesome smoothies were made. There was a very hungry lion that ate everybody. We had a great time.
That's cool. And today we're going to do the candle lighting afterwards. So if you've got any concerns or positive things to share, join us afterwards. We're going to do that pretty much straight away afterwards, and then we'll have our coffee downstairs. So let's close with the peace song. Thank you all for being here. If you are out there online, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube video. And if you haven't done so yet, click on the bell icon. It's the best way for you to find us next time we go live. So, cheers. Thanks, everybody. Let's sing the peace song together. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.